Okay, today's lesson is on relating metric and customary units. So that means we are taking two different kinds of measuring systems and converting from one measuring system to another, okay? Because remember I said that metric units are primarily used all around the world, and then customary units are used here in the United States. So what about when I need to change from one of those systems to another? On the first page of today's lesson, which is page number 359, there is a conversion chart. You see that conversion chart? 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. 1 foot is equal to 30.48 centimeters. 1 mile is equal to 1.61 kilometers. 1 meter is approximately equal to 39.37 inches. That's length conversions. Capacity, or how much something will hold, volume. 1 fluid ounce is about 30 milliliters. 1 liter is about 1.06 quarts. 1 teaspoon is about 4.93 milliliters. And then weight or mass, 1 ounce is about 28.35 grams. 1 kilogram is about 2.2 pounds. And 1 millitablespoon, I'm not sure, milliton is equal to 1.10 tons. I'm not sure what that capital T is for in MT. The lowercase m should mean milli, but I'm not sure about that capital T, because usually we measure things with grams. I'm not familiar with that capital T. We may get to something that explains it in a second. Okay, so let's look at lengths, right? And going from one measuring system to another. Many sections on the German Autobahn have speed limits of 120 kilometers per hour. Find the speed in miles per hour. Okay, so since the units of time are the same, right? Both of them are hours. We only have to convert the unit of length. So we've got 120 kilometers, and we need to change this into miles. And our conversion chart tells us that 1 mile is equal to 1.61 kilometers. So I'm going to put 120 kilometers over 1, right? And then when I set up my conversion factor, where do I need to put kilometers? Numerator or denominator over here? Remember, I want my kilometers to cancel out those units. So things cancel from the numerator to the denominator. So I need to put 1.61 kilometers in the denominator and 1 mile in the numerator, because that way I can cancel out the units of kilometer. And now I just do that math. 120 times 1 is 120. 1 times 1.61 is 1.61. And the only unit I have left is miles. So if I say 120 divided by 1.61, I'll get 74.53 miles. So 120 kilometers an hour in Germany is about like 74.5 miles per hour in the United States. Okay? Let's look at a capacity measurement in example 2. How many teaspoons are equivalent to 15 milliliters of milk? Now, if you have any thought that you might work in the medical field at any point in the future, you will work with milliliters a lot, measuring out medicine. A lot of medicines are measured in milliliters, and so knowing how to convert milliliters into teaspoons, tablespoons, ounces, etc., is really a really important thing to understand. So we're asked how many teaspoons are equivalent to 15 milliliters of milk. So we write what we know. We've got 15 milliliters. We're going to put that over 1. And then we need to find a conversion factor to multiply by. Is there a conversion factor for milliliters to teaspoons? Well, let's look under capacity and see. Yes, 1 teaspoon is equal to 4.93 milliliters. So again, I need to put my milliliters in the denominator because I need those units to cancel. 4.93 milliliters is equal to 1 teaspoon. So let's do our multiplication. Numerator, 15 times 1 is 15. Denominator, 1 times 4.93 is 4.93. The only unit we have left is teaspoons. So now if we say 15 divided by 4.93, we get 3.04 teaspoons. So 3 teaspoons is about the same as 15 milliliters. And part B of example 2, how many cups are in 2 liters? Well, we're familiar with 2 liters because we buy sodas in 2-liter units of capacity here, even in the United States. How many cups of soda could you pour out of a 2-liter, right? Well, the first thing we want to do is see if we have a unit conversion that will allow us to change liters to cups. And under capacity, I see liters to quarts, but I don't see liters to cups. But what about, can't we change liters to quarts and then change the quarts to cups? We can do that. So let's do that. I'm going to write this a little bit smaller so we got a little bit more space on the board. So we've got 2 liters, and our unit conversion tells us that 1 liter is equal to 1.06 quarts. Okay? Now that's going to work because liters cancels, right? And all I'm left with is quarts. Are y'all watching? So now I need to add another unit conversion here that will let me change quarts to cups. How many cups are in a quart? 2 cups are in a pint. How many cups are in a quart? That should be on lesson, no, 9.1 or 2, I believe.
This is what to what?
Cups to quarts. 2 cups in 1 quart?
2 cups are 1 pint and 1 pint. I mean 2 cups and 1 quart.
So that means there's 4 cups in 1 quart, right? So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to say 4 cups are in 1 quart. Now quarts will cancel, and we'll just have cups left over as our unit. So now we need to say, when we multiply our numerators, we need to say 2 times 1.06 times 4. Okay? Let's see what that gives us. 2 times 1.06 times 4 gives us 8.48. And in the denominator, we just have 1 times 1 times 1. So there's no need to multiply that and then divide because we would just get the same answer. So 8.48 cups in 2 liters.